Right, hello everybody, it is time for another video. And today, yes, I am on YGOPro, if you didn't recognise it. And what I'm going to be doing is, this is a new segment, because our channel doesn't actually have any segments, so I thought, I want to do a segment. So what it is I'm going to be discussing archetypes. As you can see from up here, I've already got several archetypes. That's not an archetype, that's just a deck, but I'm going to just pretty much go through all the cards in the archetype, discuss what they could be used for in the decks, etc. Because, as my team already knows, I'm really good at building decks, but I'm not very good at playing the game. That's why I don't go to tournaments and stuff. But I would say I'm pretty good at building decks. So for the first video, let's talk about. I'm going to talk about prophecies, but I think Declan wants to be here for that one. Let's talk about Blackwings. It's first in alphabetical order. Now, as you can see, there are a lot of Blackwing cards. There are 40 old Blackwing cards, and there are 3 old extra deck cards, and there are 3 new cards as well, 1 extra and 2 main deck. I just shove them down there because it's easier. So let's get discussing then. First up, we have the Blackwing Aurora of the Northern Lights. Now, this card will never see the light of day in an actual Blackwing deck. I mean, don't get me wrong, it's the coolest looking Blackwing card. It's my favourite by far. I've got one in Super from that German calendar thing. It's pretty cool. But pretty much, as you can see there, can't be normal summon a set, be special summon by removing from play 2 face-up monsters, 1 has to be a Blackwing tuner, 1 a non-tuner. Pretty much it's like synchro summoning, but you have to banish them. It's kind of weird. Then you can remove from play 1 Blackwing synchro from your extra deck, and its name and effects become that. Yada yada. I mean, it seems like a reasonably good idea, but it's really, really not. I mean, if you're making a pure Blackwing deck that's got just, you know, Blackwing synchros and stuff, I guess it could work, because, like, you could use this guy every turn because he's pretty hard to summon, but it's really not worth it. It's kind of I don't like it. And if you don't use his effect, his attack's just nothing because it's question mark. It's really bad. So oh, and also I think I'm just gonna check over them all. Yep, this is the only light type Blackwing. All the rest of them are dark. I don't know why this one is light. There he is, light type. He's level 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, he's level 10. So I suppose you could use him to overlay for that cannon thing, Max Gustav cannon. No. Pretty unused, but pretty awesome looking, so it's all good. Next up is, I don't know the name of this one, Abrolus the Megaquake. I'll be honest, saying I have never used this card. Don't exactly know what it does. Can't be special summoned. Already terrible. Any monster that battles with this card and is not destroyed returns to the hand. Okay, that's not too bad. What level is he? Level 7? No, that's a bad level, because he can't be special summoned. Once per turn, during your main phase 1, you have this card, lose 1,000 attack, return all cards in your opponent's opponent trap cards into the hand. I mean, okay, his effects are reasonably useful, actually, but considering you have to tribute 2 monsters to summon it, Blackwings don't really like to tribute summon. Well, they don't tribute summon at all. I'd say this guy is also pretty useless. 2/6, not a bad attack stat, but for 2 tributes, it's really not worth it. Kograshi the Wanderer, level 6. What do you do? Face the black monster you control is destroyed. Send to the graveyard, you can special summon this card from your hand. Synchro summon using this card, your opponent cannot activate cards or effects. Okay. Oh, he's a level 6 tuner. Wow, that's stupid, to be honest. I can't imagine how that would be useful in any way. Is there level 1 non-tuner? No, he's a tuner. I think you're a non-tuner. Are you? You're the only level 1 non-tuner, but you're a hand trap. Level 2 non-tuner, you got you. Yeah, all in all, this card is completely pointless, purely for the fact that what would you use a level 6 tuner for in Blackwing? Like, oh no, there's that little attacking directly guy as well. He's a non-tuner. But yeah, no, just don't even. What's your attack stat? 2/3. It's not even that good. It's pointless. Let's go on to the next card, right? This is the first card that might possibly see use in a Blackwing deck. Elfin the Raven. If you control face a Blackwing, then we'll summon it without tributes. This is pretty good. It's like with Gale and Bora. That's not Bora. That's Bora. Where they can be special summoned if you control another Blackwing. Except for he's normal summoned, but still, normal summoning level 6, 2 to attack. It's never a bad thing. When this card is normal summoned, change back position 1 once your opponent controls. Not the best effect ever, but he's got 2 to attack. You could say your opponent's stalling behind nature fairy dragon, switch to attack, you can get past it now. It has its uses, you know. The deck you would use this in is Vayu Turbo, because he's level 6, and Vayu's obviously level 1. So if you use him or whatever, you draw him, okay, fair enough. If you ditch him for Dark Grepher or Foolish Burial or something, even better. He's in the graveyard. Him and Vayu in the graveyard, bam, instantly Armor Master. It's pretty useful, but obviously because he's not that bad, when you draw him, he can be reasonably useful in himself. You know, he has a alrightish effect. And you'll always control Blackwing and Vayu Turbo pretty much, unless you're just controlling Dark Grepher or Armageddon Knight, I suppose. Alright, the next card. This is one of the best Blackwings, in my opinion. This is insanely good. It's like Cyber Dragon, except for you normal summon it. So if your opponent controls a monster and you don't, you can normal summon this card with attributes. Okay, 2000 attack, seems reasonably good. Once per turn, you can target one Blackwing you control. Until the end phase, it gains the attack of all of your Blackwings, except itself, because obviously it's already got that attack. But then other monsters you control can't attack. Now, the deck I use uses the card The Dark Door, which means only one monster can attack per turn. Sirocco gives all the attack to one Blackwing, so only one can attack. See where this is going? You give it, so say you normal summon that. Special summon a Bora from your hand. All the attack on Bora. 3/7 piercing. Doesn't matter what your opponent's got, you're probably going to get past it. If you're wondering why I use Dark Door, by the way, I use Scrapline Scarecrow as well. So Dark Door, Scrapline Scarecrow, they can't attack at all, really. It's quite funny. It's not really a competitive deck, it's just a fun deck. But it works, and with Sirocco it works really well. So this card is really good. Also, level 5, Vayu, level 6. Boom! Armwing. Instant Armwing. Always good. And then obviously, if you can go Armwing and then never Vayu, it's an instant Armor Master. An easy way than doing it with him. Because you probably would only run one of him in Vayu Turbo. You probably run at least 2 Siroccos, maybe even 3. I don't know, it depends how you're running it. But Sirocco is a really good card. He doesn't seem that good just looking at his stats and his level, but he's very, very useful. Borealis, wow, he's level 5. I seem to remember my friend was using this as a substitute for one of these because he only owned one for a while when in his Vayu Turbo deck. Move this card from your graveyard, select the face of Blackwing. If that monster battles an opponent's monster, it cannot be destroyed by battle and you take no battle damage. After calculation, destroy it. Oh wow, that's actually pretty good. If you can get it to the graveyard in Vayu Turbo anyway. Yeah, I'd say that's a pretty useful card, but I wouldn't really run it ever because of his awful stats of 1, 3, and 900 for a level 5. It's pretty bad. Well, I suppose you could special. Wait, no, what? Can you special summon him with that? Yeah, you could actually special summon him with Shura. That's pretty cool actually. So maybe he's got more uses than I thought, but as you can tell, we're only on the first line of Blackwings. There's a lot more Blackwings you're going to want to be running, so he probably won't make it into your deck unless you're running Vayu Turbo. Next up, Bristotle, the Tailwind, another level 5. Wow, they like their level 5s. If 2 more Blackwings are destroyed at the same time, like by Torrential Mirror Force, you can special summon this card from your hand, and if it's sent to grave for Synchro, you can gain life points. It's not that great, but you can special summon Ashura for level 5, so I suppose it's not too bad. Get him in a level 2 tuner or something, and instant 7. You know, that's okay. It's got its uses, but again, it'll clog your deck, it'll clog your hand. These two will both clog your hand if you draw them, and they're kind of pointless. Unless you're running Vayu Turbo and you can ditch them to special summon Dark Grepher. I probably wouldn't run it, to be honest. But, it's up to you. And this is the level 5 I was running, actually. He wasn't running this guy, he was running this one. How many level 5s do you need, Blackwings? If you take 2,000 more battle damage from your opponent's direct attack, set the level 3 allow Blackwing in your graveyard, special summon that, and this, both from the graveyard. So this is a level 5 tuner, and then you summon a level 3 Blackwing, so something like a non-tuner probably, or Gale if you really want Gale back. And then on your turn, you can just sync for an 8. The effects are both negated. Oh yeah, I think you probably wouldn't want Gale then. You can only use the effect once per duel. That kind of limits him, I guess. But still, if your opponent is going to powerhouse you, just, hey look, it's an 8 next turn. Okay, you can't summon this guy, but you can go for Stardust or Blackwing Dragon or something. That's probably what it was in the anime. Crow probably went for Blackwing Dragon. He's got a decent defense, and because he's got 0 attack, again, you can special summon him with Shura. I've talked about Shura a lot here, so let's go on to actual Shura. This is the MVP of the deck, if not for Gale, but Gale's limited to 1, so this is definitely the MVP. When this card destroys a monster battle, you special summon a monster of 1/5 or less attack from your deck, but its effect is negated. Now, what does this mean? You can special summon a tuner, go for an instant synchro. The monster you summon can still attack, so if you've got rid of their monster, it's good. If anyone knows Flamvels, this is pretty much the Flamvel Fire Dog of Blackwings. He's got 1/8 attack to start with, but with things like Kalu and Damascus, you can increase its attack to get over stronger things. You can use a field spell that increases dark attack as well. You can increase its attack to get over other things in the same way that with Fire Dog you'd use Horn of the Phantom Beast. You know, his 1/8 attack's pretty powerful anyway. You could probably get past the Thunder King just with the help of Damascus. And then you can summon almost anything from your deck, really. I mean, you can't summon, like, him or him, but you can summon these three, you can summon, no, you can't summon that, question mark. This guy, this guy, this guy, this guy if you really wanted to. Good ones to summon often are this one, Breeze, level 3 tuner, or this one, but you probably want its effect. I used to summon this one, but I found out its effect is a bit tricky, so we'll go into that later. Veyu, actually, it negates its effect, and its effect says you can't be synchro on the field, but because its effect is negated, you can synchro it, and you can go for the new 5 from the field, and it gets a Veyu in your graveyard instantly, which is pretty useful. You can't summon this one because it can't be special summoned, but, you know, there are options. It's pretty much like with Fire Dog. You summon a big monster, or small monster, I guess, and then just synchro off or do whatever, you know. It's just so good. You won't know how good it is unless you play the deck and use it yourself. Sure, your opponent will be like, get rid of Shura as quick as possible. It's like, you have Gale on the field, I don't even care. Get rid of Shura. Shura is the problem here. He always is. One of the other MPVs to the deck, Bora. If you can draw Blackwing, you can special summon it, and it's got piercing. Simple as. You can run 3 of these. Normal summon something like Shura, then you have 3 in hand. Special. Boom. 2 rank 4s. Or you can special summon this as well. Go for an instant 7 with Bora after halving their attack or whatever. There are so many things you can do with Bora. It's just like this card combos like a boss. If you're running a Blackwing deck and you're not running 3 Boras, you are doing it wrong, I'm afraid. I know I say Shura is the MVP, and you can run the deck with 2, say like if you're running Veyu Turbo or something. Bora, you need 3, no matter what. You need 3 Boras. It is the best card. But another card you should always be running, but probably only at 1, is Sephiroth Elite. This came out in the Duelist Pack Crow. It wasn't out before that, I think. I might be wrong on that, but I'm pretty sure it came out then. Then it got reprinted in the Battle Pack, so everyone actually got one. This is really good in other decks too. If it's in a graveyard, you can return 1 face-up card you control and take 400 damage to special summon it. But you can only use the effect once per duel. So, say like you're using Dragoonities, you return your field spell or something, special summon him. Oh hey, it's a Wing Beast non-tuner. That'll help. It's got so many uses. In Blackwings, you could just return like your continuous spell, or return Bora, who can then be special summoned again. It's so many things you can do with him. But obviously, you can only use once per duel, so you've got to be careful when you're going to use it. But this card has so many uses. It's crazy. Say you take one of your opponent's monsters, bounce it to their hand for this. They've got it back in their hand now. I mean, I guess you probably don't want to give it back to them, but if it's a boss monster that they took tributes for or something, like a Monarch, I don't know. I'm bullshitting here, but Sephiroth Elite is very, very useful. Unfortunately, he can't be summoned with Shura because his attack's 100 too high, but oh well. And you're probably only going to run 1, so it'll be hard to draw it, but you can Foolish Burial him because you want him in the graveyard. It works. And the next one is this one. When I was younger, I used to use this card a lot until I found out I'd been cheating with him. And it says, if this card was special summoned, it cannot be used as synchro material. And I thought, that's alright, because Shura negates the effect. I thought that was the purpose of him. Especially with Shura, you can go for an instant 8. That's amazing. But it turns out that's a summoning condition rather than an effect. If it doesn't actually negate his effect, meaning if you summon it with Shura, you still can't synchro with him, which is terrible, to be perfectly honest. It makes this card completely pointless. I mean, if you draw it, it's pointless anyway, but 700 attack, it's a level 4 tuner, so it's got uses, but, you know, you normal summon him, special summon Bora, bam, there you go. But, I would never run this card. It's just too situational, I suppose. Come with the Haze. It's not a right card. You can banish it from your graveyard during your opponent's back phase to special summon a synchro monster, then you banish the synchro monster at the end phase. It pretty much stall for a turn, I guess. It can be summoned with Shura. You can add it with Whirlwind. It's not the best, but it could be good filler, I suppose. Clue, another MVP. You can discard this card from your hand in the same way you would an Honest to gain 1/4 attack on a Blackwing monster. I know it's very specific, it doesn't like double it or anything like Honest does, because it's not that broken. But you can run this at 2, and along with Damascus, who does the same thing but 500, you can, it's incredibly useful. It's just like, oh, you're going to attack my Shura, are you? Whoops, Kalu. No, I get my effect during your turn to special summon. And then obviously the MVP of the deck. That doesn't make sense, but whatever. Gale Whirlwind, you can special summon it if you control Blackwing, and once per turn, you can halve the attack and defense of one monster your opponent controls. And that's a level 3 tuner. There are so many uses for this card, it's unbelievable. You can use this in other decks as well, especially you can just splash these 2 cards in another deck. Bounce this one back, special summon this one, instant 7, without normal summoning. It's crazy. Gale Whirlwind, I'm not going to tell you how good this card is. It is just the boss, especially considering 7's what you most go for. An Armor Master is the best. Now, Breeze's Effort, I really like this card, but it only works in builds with Black Whirlwind. Now, Black Whirlwind, I'll talk about this now. When you normal summon a monster, you can add one monster from your deck to your hand that has less attack than that monster. Obviously, a Black monster. So, say you normal summon Shura. You can add a monster with less than 1/8 attack. This guy's got 1/1, so it's got even less than, say, like Gale or Kalu or Zephyros, you know, the other monsters you might normal summon. And you can just add your hand. When this card is added from your deck to your hand by the effect of a spell, trap, or monster, you can special summon this card. But you cannot use it for a synchro except for a Blackwing monster. Why does it matter? You're going to go for Armor Master or Arm Wing probably anyway. But pretty much, you get a special summon off of Black Whirlwind. It's just a free +1 to the field, really. It's pretty useful. I mean, you can special summon it with Shura as well. So if you're running 2 of them, just instant 7 there without having to summon Gale. I say this card's really good also. Look at it. It looks awesome. This is probably my second favourite looking Blackwing after Aura. But Breeze's Effort is pretty awesome. Pretty useful tuner. Next up we have this guy. I don't really have anything to say about him. Blackwing, you control battles a monster. If the opponent's monster is still in the field at the end of the damage step, you can send this card from the hand to the graveyard to inflict 1,000 damage. I guess it could win you a game. It's a hand trap, but no. it's really kind of pointless, to be honest. Ghibli, I really like this one. It's like a battle fader, except it doesn't negate the battle phase. But if your opponent declares direct attack, special summon it. If they're attacking you with a monster of 1/6 or less, just special summon it and you've got a free monster for next turn. It's pretty useful. Now this guy you're going to be running, Blizzard. When you use normal summon, you can special summon a level 4 or lower Blackwing in face-up defense. Simple as that. It doesn't negate its effect or anything. So if you want to use Gale's effect, you can bring it back. You want to say bring out this guy or this guy or this guy, boom, instant 6, because this guy's a level 2 tuner. You can even bring out this guy instant level 5 in the new one. It's, you know, there's endless possibilities here. So you can go for non-Blackwings as well. It's not limiting you. It's just, you know, it's like Junk Synchron, but at level 2. It's pretty useful. Then we have Gust of Backblast. If you control no cards, you can special summon it. So if you draw it first hand, this is really useful, pretty much. Just special summon, then start your chains. You can then start special summoning these and these, you know, and this guy without normal summoning. You do all that, and then later just normal summon a Shura. You know, Blackwings, their key focus is to swarm the field, and they are really good at it. Is there any other effects on you? Once cards face up on the field, if your opponent's monster attacks a Blackwing, the attacking monster loses 300. Oh, I've never used that effect. Whoops. That would have been nice to know, but he normally doesn't stay on the field for that long. This guy can attack directly, and if it inflicts battle damage, you can change the attack position of one monster your opponent controls to defense. I don't really know, but whatever. I wouldn't use him. This guy's level 2 tuner. You might use him because when he's destroyed, is it by battle? No, just when it's destroyed. You reduce the battle damage from the next attack this turn to 0. Can be useful. It's got 1/8 defense, level 2 tuner. Vayu, obviously an MVP at Vayu Turbo. Can be used as synchro material while face up on the field, unless its effect's negated by Shura, of course. And then if this card's in your graveyard, you can move and play this card and one non-tuner Blackwing to special summon a Blackwing synchro from your extra deck at the same levels, but its effect is negated. Now notice it says special summon from your extra deck, not synchro summon. So if you special summon this and then it dies, you can't bring it back. It counts as a special summon monster, not a synchro summon. But the good thing about that is, say he's in the graveyard, and say he's in the graveyard that you already Vayu Turbo before, so you can't bring it back or something. You can then banish this and this from the graveyard to summon this. It does need 2 non-tuners, but you're not synchroing for it. You're special summoning it. You can actually get out Silverwind the Ascendant reasonably easy in Vayu Turbo, and it's 2/8 beta. It's pretty useful. So yeah, Vayu is pretty useful. You send him to the graveyard with things like Foolish Burial, Dark Grepher, and I've forgotten his name. The Dark Knight guy. You know, the one that does all these new archetypes, all these new knights coming out for him, but different types. But yeah, him. Armageddon Knight, that's the one. So yeah, just ditch him to the graveyard, ditch other high levels to the graveyard, and then start going crazy with your extra deck. Swarming the field with extra deck cards is even... if you can pull it off, it works pretty damn well. Jin the Rain Shadow, who I only just realised is a tuner today. If it attacks a monster with defense less than or equal to this card, it destroys it. It's a really funny side card if Steel Swarm ever get big for some reason. I don't think they ever would. But if they did somehow, it's like they all got 0 defense. Or Flamvels, because they all got 200. Just side this in with like, kill everything. But it's useless, to be honest. It's level 1 tuner. The only reason you really use it is if you're going to try and go for like Formula Synchron. But if you're going to do that, you're going to have to use this guy. And yeah, during damage calculation, you can send this from the graveyard to prevent a Blackwing being destroyed by this battle. It's not the worst card in the world, but it's kind of pointless, really. I mean, it was just a wasted card in your hand, to be honest. But I suppose if they only have one monster and they can only attack once per turn, like with my build, then I guess this could be useful. I don't really own any, but oh well. It's not the best card. It looks pretty cool though. Right, so that's all the monsters. That went on for a long time. Let's go over the spells quickly. Cast Black Feathers, it's pointless. You play one Blackwing monster in your hand, draw 2 cards, but you can't special summon monsters this turn. It's pretty much Allure of Darkness, but you can't special summon, so don't use it. Against the Wind, it's pretty much what's it called? Dark. 1 second, I will check my deck. I didn't put all the Dark Eruption. That's one. I didn't put all the non-Blackwing cards in there. Pretty much Dark Eruption, but you have to pay life points for it. Might as well just run Dark Eruption, to be honest. Except for you can take stronger monsters out with this, but you take more damage. You're going to have to use Dark Eruption. If you are going to use this, a fun card to take out of it is Ghibli, because it's 0, so you don't take any damage anyway. And then you've got it in your hand again. This one's good. Send a Blackwing from your hand to the graveyard, select a defense monster your opponent controls, and send it to the graveyard. That can come in very useful if they're using, like, Spirit Reaper or Marshmallow. Raptor Wing Strike, return a Blackwing you control to the deck, and then add a Blackwing from your deck to your hand. That's really funny. Say you control this from last turn or something, but you want a tuner, turn it to a deck and add this to your hand. Oh look, it's special summoned. But yeah, it's not the best. Black Whirlwind, MVP. When a Blackwing is normal summoned, add a Blackwing from your hand. I already talked about it earlier, you know what it does. Fake Feather, send a Blackwing from your hand to the graveyard, select a normal trap in your opponent's graveyard, and then this card is treated as that. It's pretty much like what it's saying on the picture. It's Grave Robber, but for traps. It's stupid, really. Just don't run it. Blackwing Bombardment. Treat a Blackwing monster. Select the face-up synchro you control, and it gains attack equal to attributed monster. Kind of pointless. Black Feather Beacon. Activate when you take damage from a card effect, especially some level 4 allow Blackwing from your hand. Completely pointless, because you're not going to take damage from card effects. Blackwing Booby Trap. When this set card is destroyed, inflict 1,000 damage to opponent and draw. It's good. You get good stuff back from it, but unless you really want an MST target, it's kind of pointless. Flicking 1,000 and drawing a card there is pretty useful. Blackback's Monster Reborn, but you can only summon a monster with 2,000 less attack, and you can't normal summon or set this turn. It has its uses, so you could run like one Monster Reborn and one this, but you might as well just run Call of the Haunted. This is the only difference is this doesn't stay on the field, so you haven't got that risk of just being MST'd. But if you're just going to special summon a lot, I suppose this is quite useful, yeah. Black Thunder, activate when a Black monster control is destroyed, inflict 400 damage to your opponent for each card your opponent controls. It's alright if you want to do some burn damage, it's kind of pointless. Black Boosh, remove from play 2 face-up tuners and draw 2 cards. It's terrible. Don't ever run that. If you ever even consider running it, what are you doing? Black Return. Now this card is a specific black. These last 3 are actually really good. When a Blackwing is special summoned, select one face-up monster your opponent controls, gain life points equal to its attack, and then return it to the hand. So if they control Synchro or Ixis or something, you gain its attack in life points and then return it back to the extra deck. And you special summon stuff all the time. You just special summon a Bora from your hand, or a Gale, or special summon something from your deck. Or a Synchro monster. You know, there's so many things you can do with this. You special summon all the time. This card is insane. You gain loads of life points, and you get rid of a monster that was probably going to be a problem. This one is also really good. You can only activate while you control a Blackwing monster, or if you control 3 Blackwing monsters, you can activate it from your hand, which is insane. Destroy all face-down spell and traps your opponent controls. Yep, just a Harpy's Feather Duster for face-downs. This is mental. I mean, obviously Heavy Storm you're going to run anyway, but I'd recommend running at least one of these as well. It's really, really good. If you're scared of your opponent's back row, just, I'm just going to play this from my hand, you know. And the last one, it was good before Mirror Force was back at 2. Pretty much, while you have 5 or more monsters in your graveyard, Blackwings, so it wouldn't work in Value Turbo, destroy all monsters your opponent controls when they attack. Yep. Not even attack monsters, just all the monsters they control. Very useful, but now with Mirror Force at 2, you might as well just run 2 Mirror Forces. But these 2, I would recommend running. Alright, let's go into the extra quick. This guy is useless outside of Value Turbo because he needs 2 non-tuners. I mean, it's possible to pull off with, like, say, Gust of Black Blast, Blizzard of the Far North, and then, like, Bora or Shura or something. It's possible, but there really is no point. In a regular Blackwing deck, you're probably going to run at least 1 Vayu anyway, so you might want it in there if you've got the space, but space in a Blackwing extra deck is not something you have, especially because it can Synchro and Ixis pretty damn easily. But its effect is pretty useful. When it's summoned, destroy up to 2 face-up monsters on the field with defense less than this, and it says up to, so you don't have to destroy your own. You can't kill your back phase that turn. The next time a Blackwing you should be destroyed, it isn't destroyed, but the effect only happens once. So that's quite useful. Armor Master is the best. You can't control battle at all. You take no battle damage involving it. It's pretty much you can attack into anything. Anything it battles, oh no, when it attacks, sorry, anything that attacks, put the wedge counter on it. And then whenever you want, you can remove the wedge counter. I think it's only in your turn. Remove all wedge counters on the field. All monsters that had them, attack and defense becomes 0 until the end phase. So then you can pretty much, if they're in defense, you can get over, do some piercing with Bora. If they're in attack, you can just like kill them with Shura or whatever. You can kill them with Vayu. You can get some silly things off with Armor Master, especially because you can't control a battle and take no battle damage. It's really good. It's 2/5 attack as well. It's not too bad, and it's really easy to summon. The only problem is that they will always target this card. If you summon this, it is going to be the target of your opponent's destruction effects. I suppose that's, in a sense, a good thing. They can bring it back. Arm Wing's really good. It's got piercing, pretty much, but if it attacks defense monster, it gains 500 attack, putting it up to 2/8. If you're running the field spell that increases dark attacks, it goes up by, it's on a 3,300 attack with piercing. It's insane, but it's pretty useful too. It's only level 6, so easy to summon. Right, now for the new cards. We've got Damascus, who is a mini Kalu pretty much. He gives 500 attack instead of Kalu's 1,400. Pretty useful though still. I like him. One or two maybe. This guy's like Bora and Gale in the way that it can be special summoned if you control Blackwing, but only if you control one Blackwing, which is pretty useful. If you have him in your hand, normal summon and then special summon him. It's level 3. Once per turn it comes control battle as well, which is always useful. But probably just going to Synchro Ixis with him straight away. And then the new Synchro is pretty much like there's a level 5 bird Synchro, Vortex or Whirlwind. It's pretty much Vortex or Whirlwind, but it special summons non-tuner Blackwing monster, but its effect is negated. Oh wait, no, my bad. That one is when it's draw battle. This one is when it's synchro summoned. When this card synchro summoned, special summon level 4, level Blackwing. Alright. So it says non-tuner, which is kind of annoying, but you can special summon this guy from your deck. That gets him out. I guess you can special summon one of these, but it'd be pointless. You can special summon this if you don't want to draw it. You can special summon that if you're really weird. I mean, there's not that many targets for it, but it's still pretty useful. I'd run it at 1, just purely for the fact that it's level 5, so you can go Shura, attack, special summon Vayu, Synchro, and then you've got a Vayu in your graveyard, and you've got this on the field, and then you can special summon that, who you can then use later. It can start some nice loops for you. But yeah, that's pretty much it. Blackwings I would keep. Let's get rid of the Blackwings I wouldn't keep. Let's build a Vayu Turbo build to make it more, to show you all the cards that I would possibly keep. Or it could be either form of Blackwings. I'm not giving you a specific Blackwing deck. Just saying cards that would work. Let's get rid of that. Let's get rid of that. Probably that. Oh, they're not getting rid of them anywhere. That sucks. I thought I would get rid of them. Never mind. I'm stupid. Sorry. I really wasn't paying attention. We'll get rid of them over here. Go away, cards. Pretty much, this is the cards out of the actual Blackwing archetype I would recommend running. Why are you going away? So you'd run that in your extra deck, and you'd run these two in your main deck as well, obviously. So 20 different Blackwing cards you've got the possibility of running. Obviously, you're going to be running 3 Bora, 3 Shura, 1 or 2 of them, 3 of them if you're running Vayu Turbo. I don't know. You'd run one of that. You'd run 2 of that, 1 of that, 2 of that maybe, 2 of that, or 3 of that. 2 or 3 of that, or 2 probably, 2 or 3 of that, 2 or 3 of that, And then obviously you've got staples, and you've got mind control, pot of avarice. There's lots of things you can do with Blackwings, but the idea, swarm the field, synchro, Ixis, use your extra deck. The problem with this deck is it has no hand advantage whatsoever. You go all out, so it's all or nothing. If your opponent stops you with some judgments and warnings and stuff, you're probably screwed, to be perfectly honest, but that's the risk you get if you're playing Blackwings. It's a really fun deck. If you haven't tried it, try it out on DN. Build a Blackwing deck. I'll put a Blackwing. I'll do a Blackwing deck profile at some point. I could do that. I could do one archetype video and then make a deck profile of it afterwards on DN, because it's easy to do deck profiles on DN, I think. But so yeah, there we go. Blackwings. Boom. I'll save it here with the good cards in it. I hope you enjoyed.